Let's talk about how to buy a short-term rental. What are you going to do to finance it? What options are available? If you are a buyer that's interested or just starting to research, that's one of the first questions I get. And I'm a real estate agent. I'm not a lender. My name's Julie Hutchison. I'm in the Austin market. I also own two short-term rentals myself. I'm sitting in one of them right now. But that's probably one of the first questions, if not the first question I get from buyers and investors. And so I'm going to say I'm not a lender. I can't tell you what you'd qualify for, but I'm going to lay some options on the table for you. The very first option is if you're going to live in part of the unit, you can traditionally qualify through conventional FHA financing. No big deal, right? But a lot of times when you're buying a short-term rental, you're buying the whole property to rent out. And that means you're not going to live in the property. And so you're going to need to look at other financing options. So I have investors come to me that are going to pay all cash. That's super easy, no big deal. I have investors that want to look at a product called DSCR loans, debt services credit ratio loans. And the cool thing about those loans, they are going to really use the property to underwrite the loan. And so you're going to have a larger down payment than you would probably on a conventional or FHA loan, but they're going to base their underwriting based on the income that the property is going to bring in. And so you'll want to find a lender that's savvy with short-term rentals. Not all DSCR lenders will underwrite using short-term rental income. They will use long-term rental income. And in Austin, that's not going to be enough. Our rents, our long-term rents have not kept up to justify the prices of the properties. And so you're going to want to find a lender that specializes in using short-term rental data. And then I, as your buyer's agent, and also my business partner, Landon Smith of AirN, can also supplement the data that the lender and the appraiser is using if needed, because we have tools that will deep dive into potential revenue. And you don't have to have a turnkey property. It can just be a property in an area that does really well, and then they can underwrite it based on the potential short-term rental income. So I would say DSCR is number one way that people finance short-term rentals. And that's also going to keep you being able to do more than one in the future, because if it were all based on your credit and your debt, then that's going to be limited after you purchase one or two or three, depending on what your income is. But when you use the potential income of the property, then you can do more than one. So that's going to be a big way to purchase properties. Another way could be second home. If you don't live that close to Austin where you'll be buying, then some lenders will lend you at least one or two second home loans. And other options could be home equity line of credit. That's how I built this property. So I live in the front house and I had a lot of equity. I bought it in 2017, took out a home equity line of credit to build this back house. So if you have a lot of equity in your current home, you could consider a home equity line of credit to help you purchase the next home. And then there's unconventional financing, owner financing that you can do. I specialize in a lot of creative financing. It's not available widespread, but there are options, and I have helped buyers buy with owner financing as well. But I would say number one is DSCR loans. So if you need a lender, I have lots of lenders I can refer you to. Reach out to me. If you need help buying a property in the Austin market or Central Texas, also reach out to me and we can help you. Thanks.